best car, SUV, or truck, guess what? You're in luck. Frontier Motors is down the street. Got the best deals that can't be beat. Don't overpay, come in today. Doing business the old-fashioned way. Frontier, we've got the right price. Frontier, we'll treat you mighty nice. Frontier Motors, low overhead country.
And for the next half hour, you'll have the opportunity to speak directly with one of the owners of Frontier Motors if you'd like to get the value of a car, truck, or SUV that you're thinking of buying or selling or trading in. And you do that by dialing 476-1007, 476-1007. The owner in question, Mr. Ron Schneider. Good morning, sir.
Well, good morning, and welcome to the show. This is our radio show here at WCOA, and we're also broadcasting for our cable viewers out there to tell you a little bit about Frontier Motors and what's going on. The show is basically about values, and what we do is we share the values with you. There's not too many car dealers that really want to do that for you. What I bring to us is we got the Black Book Guides. The Black Book Guide is the guide that's supposed to be some type of secret. This is the version that they print, and this is the truck guide, and then they have the guide that's the car guide, and it's of course got some small print in there, and for us 56-year-old people that's not really easy to use. I can use the computer here, but it helps understand what's going on in today's market because these are compiled numbers from auto auctions last week. It's not something that was last month. The next guide that we use, and I have that up on the screen, you're more than welcome to give us a call at 476-1007. For those listening on the radio today at WCOA, this is also the NADA guide. The NADA guide is also known as the Blue Book. I don't know where they got the Blue Book from. It's pretty gold to me, but it's got blue lettering. They're 80 years in the business. They are trustworthy. They're the way to go. They're the way to understand your values when you're getting a vehicle. Also, when you call your credit union, your bank, that's what they're going to use. They're going to use this NADA. So those are the others. And then one more step, we don't have a book for that, is the Manheim Auto Auctions. Gives us the opportunity to look inside the auto auctions. What happened last week? What happened yesterday? And that's very, very important what's going on in the market. So we can help you out understand the value of your vehicle. Real simple, 476-1007. Don helps me out on the show out here, and we don't want him to snooze while we're doing this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. We don't want him to snooze.
There, yeah.
So give us a call at 476-1007. We'll help you out with the values. I got them right here on the screen. Takes a little bit of nothing to do that, and we'll be off and running. That's the format of the show. The television viewers, we are Frontier Motors. Frontier Motors is an independent dealership. Started in 1996. We're in our 17th year of business. Usually you see my partner Ivan or myself or both of us here on the television or on the radio, but he's on vacation. So I'm here doing the TV show and helping you all out. We established in 1996. We've been going 17 years strong. We sell used cars. We sell almost new cars, but we never sell a new car. But one of the things that we feature at our lot is, and some people want to know some prices. They want to know and they want to shop. Well, we feature this, and there's no other car lot that I know that does this in our area in the southeast United States, is you have a price list if you want to come to Frontier Motors and shop. Has every single one. Now, you try to put them on the cars. You can't do it because things change daily. These markets change. You might add a set of whole brand new tires to the car. That increases the value a bit. You might do something to increase the value, put a toolbox on a truck or something like that. So what we have is this daily list that each one of our salespeople carry. So it's not a surprise to anybody. The car lots out there today, I don't know why they do it, but they have a little code they put on the back. Or they do something to where the salesman the only one that know. I think in today's information highway and the internet that you should know this. And one of the things it'll show you what kind of transmissions in it. It'll show you the color and the things to help you out a little bit. It also has, remember that NADA value I told you about when we came to the show? Why is that important to a consumer? Well, if you're financing, it is. If you're trying to make sure you're getting a good deal, it is. Because in financing, one of the reasons they use that NADA, that's on the sheet. So if you're financing, they can tell you approximately what you'll have to put down, what you wouldn't have to put down. The sale price, if we have it advertised anywhere, and of course our asking price. And it seems sometimes when you go to a car lot, it doesn't matter if it's an independent used car lot or a new car franchise, some of the things they advertise, ask the salesman once in a while. They won't know. Ours do, because they carry this list with them, and it makes a lot of sense to have something like this in our industry to make it easier for the customer. After 17 years, after 35 years in the car business between Ivan and I and Jenny, if you combine that, of course, we got about 90 or 100, but just 35 years, we found some of the glitches, we found some of the problems, and we found something to make it easier. One of the other things that we keep around there is the consumer guide reports. We're not afraid if one car is better than the other. If that happens to be, that happens to be. I may have probably 15 years ago when a Ford wasn't competitive with a Honda, but it is today. I may have when a Dodge wasn't competitive with a Chevrolet truck. It is today. So if you need to know those facts, we have them at Frontier Motors. And then the other thing that we also have is we have these. These are the new car cost guides. And the new car cost guides are provided by Black Book. Right here on the back they show. And what they do is they print how much a new car is. We're not in the new car business, but folks, if you're out there buying a 2013 or you're buying a 2012, for Ivan and I and all of our staff to figure out how much to price a car for, or to look up a price for you, we got to know how much a new one is. So we look at that, and we don't look how much the retail price of a new car is. We look at how much the dealer pays for them, so that we can save you money by buying a vehicle. I got an example here this morning. This Toyota, it's a window sticker for a Toyota, and it's in the vehicle that we bought. And this can be essential to us to let you know how much you're going to save. Now, here's a pretty good example. Most of the Toyota dealerships, I'm not speaking of the one just in our area or outside our area, thing, usually have an addendum. In other words, they add something on the end of these. Now, that's, I don't know why would anybody pay that anyways, but anyways, the addendum. So this particular vehicle is $15,993, so they could put a $1,500 more markup or $2,000 markup, calling this $17,993. But the reason we keep these, or the reason we try to find these, is so that you can compare. Now, this is a 2012 Yaris. It's got about 30,000 miles on it, and you can buy it for $12,900. Now, to anybody, that's a couple $1,000 savings. That's a $3,000 savings. So you got to keep this in mind, that we try to keep these around to help you, and keeping this new car cost guide around. It tells you the different equipment. Saturday, some people came in and they wanted to order a Chrysler Town and Country, and they wanted the model with the both power sliding doors, and then they wanted to have that tailgate to come up. Well, what we did is they don't want a 2013, they want a 2010 because of the price range. So we pulled the 2010 book that we kept, and we looked what package they had to have and what the equipment they had to have and what model they had to have, because they're running all over Pensacola in our area here trying to find this 2010 because they want to spend around $15,000, and they got to hit and miss, hit and miss, hit and miss. So what we did is we gave them an education on how to shop a little bit easier, and they gave us the opportunity to find one before they did. So little things can happen with books and all this other stuff. You can join us on the show, the radio show, 476-1007. Don't let Don Parker fall asleep over there. He mans the telephones, and he'll get directly with me. I can plug in your information, and within minutes I can give you the value of your vehicle. Maybe you just want to sell it. Maybe you are the entrepreneur, or maybe the person that wants to be in competition with Frontier Motors. Well, I can help you with that. If you want to maybe find out what your car is worth in trade. Maybe you've seen one of those new 2014s that came out, and one of the 2014s that came out, and you want to take your vehicle and go to maybe a Chevy store or a Ford store, and you want to trade it. Well, know before you go. You know what I'm saying? That makes a little sense, right? Know before you go, so that when you get there to the dealership, that you'll have an understanding of how much your car's worth, so you don't have to go around and around and around. An example is, and I tried to give some examples about trade-ins and stuff. We had a gentleman call the other day, and he listens and watches he listens to WCOA, and he watches the show on Blab TV once in a while. But he had a question. He was at a dealership, a big dealership here in Pensacola, and him and his wife took the time. They're retired here, military, and they went over to the dealership. They found the vehicle they liked. They wanted to buy a Lexus. And they took their time. They looked at it. The salesman was very courteous. Let them drive it around a little bit, let them test it, let them look at it, touch it, feel it. They drove around the freeway, came around, went back to the dealership, and then the salesperson asked, well, do you have a trade-in? And he said, yes, we do. And they said, oh, you do. And so here went the attitude of the salesperson. So he did what he was supposed to, due diligence. He wrote up the little piece of paperwork they did. He went over to the used car manager, and he brought back the figures to the people. And the consumer says, well, I hope I'm doing well. I've really taken care of my car. You know, my wife and I haven't done anything wrong to it. It's only got 54,000 miles. Now, I'm going to read you some of the figures that on his particular car. Rough trade-in is $10,825. Average trade-in is $12,150. Clean trade is $13,250. Average retail, around $16,000. And clean loan, I don't know what that comes from or who uses it, but it was $12,225. And he kind of had an idea from looking on the internet or maybe even calling the dealership, but they offered him $10,000 for his car. And it was flawless. I mean, this was as pretty a 2006 Avalon XLS as you could find in Pensacola. They offered him $10,000. And he simply looked right at him and said, why? And the salesperson didn't have any answers because he got that from the manager, or he got it from the used car manager. And the used car manager's job is to get the car in as low as he can so that he can make his most profit for the dealership that he can. And if you're saying, well, that's not right, I've been in those meetings before. The big, huge difference at Frontier Motors is we're in the used car business. That's all we're in. So when you come to Frontier Motors, I appraised this vehicle at $13,000. I took $250 off. There was a little scrape on the back, little fender. I appraised it at $13,000. We were easily able to make the deal with this gentleman because we gave him fair value for his trade. And how do you know that? You don't. Not until you go out there and get messed up with some people, or you come to Frontier Motors and get your value. They're hard to find and they're hard to have good quality. But if you're looking for something like here in just Buicks alone, I have 8 Buicks. I have a 2008 Buick Enclave CXL. I have a 2012 Buick, another Enclave, 27,000 miles on it. I have a 2010 Buick LaCrosse CXL, which a CXL means, for all everybody out there, is the top of the line. I have a 2001 Buick LeSabre Custom that I bought off of the street, and I'll get into that in just a little bit, that we do buy cars, with 31,000 miles. Now, some people say, well, how do you come across cars with 31,000 miles and being a 2001? This particular car came from a couple here in town that one of them lost their parent, and they had the car, and they got it in inheritance. And, of course, they got 2 nice cars. What do they want a 2001 Buick for? They asked their family, they asked their friends, and they asked people around church if they wanted the car. At that time, nobody was interested, and they needed to sell it. So I brought it to Frontier Motors. I have a 2003 Buick LeSabre with only 65,000 miles, a 2004 Buick LeSabre, a 2011 Buick Regal, and a 2000 Buick Terrazza, and that happens to be their little van. Now, here's a little van that you can buy with Buick quality, and I can sell it for $8,900. But those are examples of what we keep at Frontier Motors, including all of the other cars that are there. And give us a call, 476-1007, 476-1007. Everybody's out there sleeping today, Don. Where do you think they are?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, it's fall and the weather's nice.
Yeah. If you want to do it outside the call-in area, that is, 888. 476-1007. So if you're in Mobile, if you're in Fairhope, if you're in Loxley, if you're in Pineapple, add 888-476-1007.
That's if you're outside the 850 area code.
That's
there you go.
Correct.
Of course, everybody sees the commercials about Carfax and History Report. We use 2. One is, of course, the Carfax. And, of course, they got the little Carfax right here. And we also use AutoCheck. And the reason we use both is they're only as good as what's reported. And what I mean by that is if the accident... excuse me, if the accident wasn't reported, it's not on any of these. And sometimes it'll be on the AutoCheck, and sometimes it'll be on the Carfax and won't be on one or the other. But here's an example of one that came in the other day. We had a trade-in. And we asked the customer how was this, what was that, and everything else. And we asked if there was any problems. They told us no. Well, when we pulled the Carfax, it came up branded title. Now, this was very interesting. Branded title meaning that there's something wrong with the title, or something has been added to the title, or it's been in problems. Well, everybody remember is it Joplin, Mississippi? Was it Jocelyn? Is that how they say it? Or Joplin? Joplin, Mississippi, where they had the tornadoes and everything?
That'd be Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri, sorry. Sorry for everybody that lived in Missouri.
Yeah, there's 8 of those.
Yeah, you can see that we graduated from high school and came right into car business.
Yeah.
But this particular car was in the tornadoes up there. And it was branded, it was damaged at a car lot. And then the guy had only so much insurance, so the insurance company asked him, hey, do you want to buy any of these back, with some of the damage being little, some being bad? And he said yes. So the guy bought them back, fixed them all up, and then he sold them. But they're branded that they were in problem. So you got to kind of watch that stuff a little bit. And I'll explain some other stuff that comes on these Carfaxes when you have something like that. I think we got a call.
Danny from Mobile.
Hey, Danny, how can we help you?
Yes, sir. I've got a 09 GMC Silverado SLT pickup.
Uh-huh.
4-door. I'm 110,000 miles this morning. I wonder what the trade-in is on it.
And you said it was a crew cab SLE, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
2-wheel drive, okay. And how many miles are on 110?
110,000.
All right, sounds good. All right, now there's a few add-ons for value. Of course, it's probably got the alloy wheels. Danny? Alloy wheels, bed liner?
Yes, sir.
All right. Towing package?
Yes, sir.
All right. Power seat? No power seat?
Power seats? Yes, sir.
All right. All right. And you do have leather?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Let me submit these options here. All right. A couple different values that Danny got here. It still has a pretty good retail value. A 2009 GMC Sierra Crew Cab SLE 2-wheel drive with 110 still has a value of $21,900 on the retail end, and average trade right now is at $17,000. And I think those values are a little on the high side compared to that NADA. According to the Black Book guide, when you look at the Black Book that I'm looking at here on the screen, it says that it's somewhere around 15.7. So it may be a little high in the miles, but I would say anywhere probably trade in 16 to 16.5, and if you're trying to sell it yourself, it'd probably sell pretty easy under $20,000.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks for calling. That's how simple it can be and how easy it is. Danny calling out of Mobile, Alabama.
He dialed
888-476-1007. Give us a call if you're up there in Crestview and you can listen to us, or down maybe in Navarre area or things like that. It's been very nice that WCOA has gone to the FM. WCOA AM is 85 years, Don. It's about 80-some years.
87.
87 years in their AM station. They went to this FM format, and we're able to reach more people, and the radio station, not just we, but of course the radio stations are able to reach further out, all the way to Crestview, to Navarre area, Fort Walton, Mobile, Baldwin County over there, and it helps us as a business to get out there and let everybody hear about us, and including that. I was going to let the viewers on the camera look a little bit at our inventory and see some of the inventory, because I know you're the people out there with the eyes. The radio people are just listening with their ears, but I'll give you about 30 seconds and 40 seconds of looking at some of the inventory. And while I'm speaking here, we're talking about inventory, we're talking about what you find at Frontier Motors and the quality that's there. Ivan does most of the buying. That's my partner, the guy that's on the radio and TV show with us. But you'll see when you come to the Frontier, you'll see about 80 cars on the front line. But behind that, you'll see all of these good quality cars. You'll see all of the makes, all of the models that we have, and it makes a lot of sense to sometimes just drive in, take your car, come in, look at that inventory, and for those watching, welcome back. That's what we're talking about here, having a good quality inventory for you, the consumer, to pick out. Now, why would somebody go and buy 300 some odd cars? Why would we invest almost $7 million in cars? Well, when the consumer comes to a car lot and we invite you over there with our radio station or our TV station, we want to be able to have the inventory for you to make a choice. I talked about this Buick Enclave. If you're looking for a Buick Enclave, we also have a BMW 5 Series. If you're looking for the GMC version, we have that. If you're looking for the Cadillac, we have the SRX and that crossover. We have the Ford Expedition, the Ford Explorer. You have the Mitsubishi. You have all those. It's almost like a used car lot and a used car show, because all those cars are there to help you. If you're interested in a Cadillac four-door and you maybe been driving a little Honda Accord because you like that CTS with a little bit more room and style, you can compare that to the M37 or the G37 Infinity. And I think having that inventory makes it easier on the consumer. It doesn't really make it easier on us. We have to upkeep it, wash it, make sure it's right, make sure it's clean, and have it ready. And then once you pick it out, then we got to help you with the end of the sale. And the end of the sale is basically the financing, or the part where you might write a check. There still are people out there that fortunately have done well, and they could write a check. But if you're one of the folks out there that got to do some financing, Frontier is loaded with that. And, it was a little tougher. I can admit that being 17 years, almost 18 years here in November coming up in the car business when we first started, there wasn't many lenders that wanted to look at an independent used car lot. We all know that there used to be about 120 of them. Today there's around 80. But the banks came to us. Some of the first credit unions, Harvesters Federal Credit Union, came, said, look, you guys are doing a bunch of great business. Why don't we work internally with you so that our members don't have to go from place to place to place? We said, great, let's do it. And then Penn Air came to us. Penn Air says, hey, we have a lot of members. Instead of going from location to location, we'll just do business right there with you. So that helps out. And then all of a sudden, before these came, we had Wells Dealer Services, which is Wells Dealer Services and Wells Bank. Everybody knows them. There's one here on 29. They were huge, and they are huge. They were into the mortgage business, very, very big. Well, you know what happened to the mortgage business 4 or 5 years ago? So they sank their money and their investment in some of the automobile industry, and they've come just doing great. Hancock Bank is in-house, and also Fidelity National Bank. And those are probably the three biggest lenders in the United States. We don't have like the GMAC or the Ford Motor Credit, but we can be as competitive as any of those. The only thing I can't be competitive is I really can't give you zero interest, and I'm not sure how all that works, or how that gimmick works, or how much the dealers pay to do that, but I don't have the zero. But I have the matching, the 1.9, the matching 2.9, the matching 3.9 with all of those lenders. And if you give us a chance, we'll work with you. And there's also the alternative, somebody might be working for ECOA for 10, 15 years, and they got a credit union they use, or might be working up at Ascend or something, and they got that credit union they've been using for years, but maybe they had a glitch in their credit. Maybe went through a divorce. Maybe somebody in the family got sick. I met this lady the other day. Her husband had a heart attack and had a glitch in their credit. Now, it was really, really good here, had a little glitch where he had the heart attack, and it gotten better after the heart attack. Well, they went to the credit union, and they wouldn't lend them the money because of their beacon score had dropped. And we found a lender that would lend them the money as though that never happened. So there's choices out there when you're talking about financing. I don't want to say there's all good or bad financing out there. Navy Federal Credit Union here right in town, they put us on the map with all of the money they lend. Penn Air. I mean, look at those people. Harvesters and all these I named. Gulf Winds, L&N Credit Union. All good money. So if you want to use your own money, use your own money. Like I said, we really don't care where you get your money as long as you pay for the car. But those are just a little bit about the financing end. And financing is a little bit easier it is today than it was a couple years ago. So if you're out there thinking, I just might buy a car today, or I think I'm going to try and get a used car, the rates are good. And in some of the credit unions and some of the banks, that really don't change the APR. So give us a shot at that. And also, if you'd like to apply for a loan, you're more than welcome to do that through our website at www.frontiermotorsinc.com. FrontierMotorsInc.com. It's a secured credit application. Some people like to do it because they can get all of that preliminary stuff out of the way. I love the excitement of selling cars. I've been doing this for 35 years. I still love the excitement this morning. I still like the excitement tomorrow when I come in. And it's because people are getting something new and they're excited. Our salesmen are out there. And all of a sudden we got to stop to do the financing for about an hour. It kind of takes some of the excitement out. So if you want to get yourself pre-approved, go right to the website at FrontierMotorsInc.com. Some of the other things you can see there real quick when you're there, we have little wood tabs that are on the side. One is for if you want to sell us a car. One is if you want to put your car on consignment. And it gives you the information on those things you need to bring. I had a customer come all the way over from Navarre on Saturday and want to put a car on consignment, and they didn't bring everything with them. So they made one trip on Saturday, one trip on Monday, or maybe on Tuesday, depending on what the holidays are. So you want to read on those little tabs, you can do that. And I guess it leads me into that we buy cars. You've heard the show. Don has helped me take some of the phone calls. We're talking to our cable viewers. But if you have a nice, clean car out there, and maybe you lost a loved one, or maybe you're just going from a one-car to a two-car family, or maybe you got a company car, lucky you, and that third car sitting out there in the driveway now, bring it by Frontier Motors. Ask for Keisha Streckel or Todd Gordon. They're our sales managers. Or you can ask for Ivan or myself. I'm Ron Schneider. And we'll take a look at your car, and we'll decide how much we can pay for it. We'll show you why we're paying that much money. And then we also can talk about even the consignments. So it works out real, real well, makes it a lot easier. And instead of putting a car on Auto Trader, not anything against Auto Trader, one of the best. Cars.com got voted the easiest way to find a car in some magazine I was reading the other day. You can do that, or you can put it in Craigslist. If you have a little $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 car, Craigslist seems to work very, very well, or under $10,000 cars if you're selling them yourself. But again, this is a show of values. This is a dealership that will help you with values. And we don't have any gimmicks. I don't have that fancy phone where you got to dial 3 to talk to me and 4 to talk to this guy and this guy. When you answer the phone, one of our salespeople, one of our ladies in the office, or most of the time, Allison, nice young lady, answers the phone, will get you to the proper way. You don't have to wait and do this and that. She put you on hold and put you to the salesperson. We don't have that. We're not trying to capture your number. We're not trying to capture your email forever. If you just want to ask a question on email, ask the question, we'll answer. We don't bother you 10 times following up. We don't send you service replies. We don't do all that kind of stuff. All we are here to help you buy a car. How much fun can it be? We try to make it as fun as we can. We got about a couple minutes left here for the radio show and TV show, and values are free. Carfax, absolutely free. Car history reports, free. Both of these are in the glove box on every single car on our lot. If they're not, when you're looking at it, tell me, and I'll make sure I get them in there right away. We try to do this immediately when we come with the car. Sometimes after detail, they'll pull them out or something like that. Or a customer sometimes takes them with them if they're interested. But make sure both of these are in there, the history reports of both of our cars. If you go to a car that they're not, ask them why not. If they're not proud of their car, they don't know what's going on with their car, ask them why not. And remember, if you come there and you want to do your own shopping, we all have the price lists. The price lists that have the cars, have the NADA guides, have everything, have the sale prices, so you don't have to run around doing goofy things and trying to figure out codes on the back of cars or anything like that. And we don't make it fun. Ivan, Jenny, that's Ivan's wife, and we started this back in 1996, and we're having fun today. We love the car business. We love business. We love trade-ins, and we think a trade-in and a new car and a purchase is a two-car deal, so we really look forward to you trading your car in. If it's nice or old, we traded a $400 car in the other day, and we traded a $48,000 car in the other day. So we'll trade just about anything. Look us up on the website. Watch us on TV. Talk to your neighbors. If you have any friends or relatives out there or anybody at work or something, tell them about the free services that we have. The appraisals, the values, everything that we have at Frontier Motors. 230 Beverly Parkway. Our telephone number, 436-8080. If you haven't called the show, 436-8080. Remember, everybody drives a used car. And thanks for watching, and thanks for listening.
Don't overpay, come in today. Doing business the old-fashioned way. Frontier, we've got the right price. Frontier, we'll treat you mighty nice. Frontier Motors, low overhead.